Okay, ready.
Good evening and welcome to the Coffeyville City Commission meeting for Tuesday, April 11th, 2017. Tonight our invocation will be presented by Pastor Randy DePriest of the First Assembly of God. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, Coffeyville, I want to invite you, if you don't have plans for Resurrection Sunday, a place that, a day that Christians hold unique from all other day, the confirmation of God does what he says he'll do, and he loves you. And so Easter breakfast, 9 a.m., First Assembly of God, egg hunt, 9:45. Worship service will start at 10:30. Every one of you, please consider this a personal invitation if you don't have a place to be with your family and friends on that important day. Father, as we come before you today, I pray for the city of Coffeyville. I thank you for leadership that stands up, leadership that shows up, and leadership that knows when to speak and knows when not to speak. Father, I thank you that as you go before us, that Coffeyville is getting better. I'm hearing good reports as we pray each week in our church for economic stimulus. We pray for jobs. I'm hearing people finding jobs. I'm seeing influence and hearing things that I know that you're in the middle of. But Father, tonight, may you be glorified, and may we praise you with the way we respect one another, the way we endeavor to work together. And Father, may we really together see your kingdom fulfilled and some of the promises of God that you have bestowed upon every community under God. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Moving to the consent agenda. First item is Coffeyville City Commission meetings for Tuesday, meeting minutes for Tuesday, March 28, 2017. 2017 appropriation ordinance number AO-17-07 in the amount of $2,364,510.41. Also an ordinance number S-17-03, a second reading of an ordinance to vacate a portion of an alley at 11th and Hall. Do we have any questions or amendments to these three agenda items?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Was that Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Motion was made by Commissioner Martin and seconded by Commissioner Taylor to approve the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Kassler.
Aye.
Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Additional item on the agenda, 2017 appropriation ordinance number AO-17-07A, iron time sales in the amount of $43.80. Do we have any questions regarding this? What's it for?
It is a Rubbermaid electric utility cart for the electric department.
Okay. Move to approve.
Well, I got a question. I really don't know what it is. Was it a used one?
That I cannot answer.
Yeah. I just wondered what a new one would cost. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second. Oh,
Well, Williams made a motion.
I'll second, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion was made by Commissioner Williams and seconded by Commissioner Martin to approve appropriation ordinance number AO-17-07A. Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Commissioner Kassler.
aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor.
Abstain.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye. Moving into regular agenda items, public hearing, special presentation, and proclamations. A report from Montgomery County Action Council. Tom Simpson, interim director for MAC, will make a report.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the commission, it's always a pleasure to be with you. Pastor Randy, I got to tell you how much I appreciate your prayer this evening. Things are improving in the county, and I think in the nation as a whole, and I'd like to document some of that with you this evening briefly. Having said that, let me start off with a little bit of a sad note, and that is that unemployment continues to be a problem in the county. Montgomery County ranks fourth highest in unemployment, or fourth from the bottom, however you want to look at it, in terms of unemployed folks in our county. 6.3% unemployment rate, which has fallen since the fourth quarter of 2016, but still an unacceptable level as far as I'm concerned. Behind that cold statistic of 6.3%, there are 934 folks in this county who are unemployed looking for a job. And I joined Pastor Randy in hoping that that number is quickly brought down and those folks can utter those four famous words, "I got the job," which cures all sorts of problems. Since January, MAC has assisted the city of Coffeyville, as is our contract, with no less than 6 prospects with interest in buildings that are located in Coffeyville. One of those prospects is close to making a decision. The others are still in progress. Has been a significant increase in the number of folks who have expressed an interest in Montgomery County in general and Coffeyville specifically. I'm not going to say much about the Amazon building because I'm sure your staff has briefed you already on the details of that. I guess the only thing I would say is that we continue to be optimistic as progress moves forward on that project. MAC has spearheaded the first meeting of the US 169 Corridor Coalition, an attempt to try to bring support to improve Highway 169 from Kansas City to Tulsa. We had our first organizational meeting in March, and we plan to continue this long-term project. And when I mean long, I'm talking about decades probably, to affect the kind of changes we think are important for that highway. It's vital to us. It's vital to our economy. Right now, I don't know if you're aware of this now, but in the last 4 years, 19 people have died on US 169. 198 people have been injured, suffered serious injuries, and there's untold amounts of property damage created by the accidents that occur. KDOT, for its part, has been very open and accessible to us, is very supportive, but yet the political will to do this really rests with us. There's got to be a movement to push this issue forward. This is a state with a lot of, Kansas has a lot of demands on it across this entire state. We have to make sure our voice is heard. And the only way to do that is a united front, and that's everybody from the suburbs of Kansas City down to the suburbs of Tulsa. And Coffeyville, of course, is right in the heart of that. The 2018 budget request, as we had talked about in our previous meeting together, has been submitted to your city manager. It conforms to the tentative agreement that we had reached earlier in the year. If you have any issues or questions with it, we've also provided a copy of our planned budget for 2018 for your review. And if you have questions, of course, we'll be glad to answer those. The annual MAC meeting will be held here in Coffeyville on June 15th. More information about that will be forthcoming. You all, of course, be welcome guests. And my final point I'd like to make to you tonight is that my replacement has been selected after I would call a very thorough search. I'm convinced that the MAC board has made an excellent choice in stealing your economic developer. Thank you very much, Coffeyville. Trish Burton will be coming on board on May the 2nd to assume the responsibilities as executive director, and I could not be more pleased with that selection. She brings both experience and training. She has an intimate knowledge of this county and the issues that are throughout the county. So while she's still yours at heart, she is all of ours by her job. And I think I wish her nothing but the best, and I will provide any help to her that I possibly can so that when the transition is made, it's seamless, and I promise you that will happen. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions for you, gentlemen.
Back to this, Tom,
Yes, sir.
back to this highway thing.
Yes.
Interesting. And does Montgomery County Action Council have anything to do with that? I mean, obviously some, but Can you
Well,
elaborate on that?
Not trying to pat ourselves in the back, but Mac is the one who organized the meeting and paid for the lunch to have folks from, we invited folks all the way from Osawatomie down to Coffeyville to meet in Iola. Because our notion was that Montgomery County by itself cannot force this issue on the state's agenda. But a coalition can. Now, many of you are old enough to remember that the 69 coalition pretty much ate our lunch a few years ago when it came to allocating funds for their corridor. And that was all done through a united effort on the part of those folks. And our notion is the same. This politics, as you know, is a competitive operation. There's only so many resources available. Whether there is infrastructure money coming or not from the Trump administration, the fact is this highway still needs to be improved. It's dangerous. It's too small. It does not accommodate our traffic. We have to, and it's up to us to make the agenda item on the state. It's up to us to push the issue. So we felt strongly about it, and so we contacted everybody we could along that corridor, held this first meeting. Now we're ready to take the next step. The next step is for more formal organization, and I hope you will support that effort.
Well, I'd like to know more, and obviously I don't know enough about it from my question, because it wasn't just to hear you. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to be a little bit more involved in the future, too. And
Well, this is exactly the time to get involved with it, because right now, there is nothing to report except we're meeting. We met for the first time, and we agreed, let's do something.
so Montgomery County Action Council will be working on that going forward?
Yes, sir. At least that's,
Okay.
I assume the new boss will agree. Okay, she says
Okay.
yes.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, and I'm sure the citizens are glad to hear it, Tom.
Mr. Chair, we've had all sorts of calls from citizens. I had a passionate call from a lady the other day who said, I want to be involved with this movement because I lost my brother on that highway in a car accident. Well, that takes it out of the purely economic, and it takes it out of it's good city planning. It puts it in the realm of this is really meaningful in a personal way.
Sure.
And so I think that kind of attention can be brought to the issue, and MAC will stay with it as far, I'm sure Trish will push this. I know that the executive committee of MAC does support this idea, so we're going to keep
okay.
at it.
So when Trish takes over, you'll be leaving?
Yes, sir.
So will this be, that's pretty quick, you'll be leaving?
Yes, sir. 27th is my
So-
last day.
Okay, well, this will probably be your last appearance here.
Yes, sir, it will be.
And I'm sure the citizens and the business people and everybody's appreciate your internship.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
It's been a great pleasure for me to be here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. Moving into new business, discussion and action to appoint two people to the Public Library Board. Applicants Deborah Murphy and Karen Rittenhouse. There's one position for an unexpired term through April 30th, 2018, and one position for a new four-year term through April 30th, 2021, sorry. Could we have the two applicants? Okay. We want to have, Deborah, would you like to come to the podium and tell us why you're interested in becoming part of the Public Library Board?
Yes. Besides being an avid reader, I just believe that the public library system is a vital thing in any community. And it provides a lot of services besides just books and banks of computers, and it has programs for children and homeschool children, and I'm just very interested in it. I would like to be on the board.
Any question from the commission?
Thank you for applying.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Karen, would you please?
Hi. I think I have a vested interest in Coffeyville people. I taught school here for 26 years, and I retired 2 years ago. And I've always told my children, if you can read, you can do anything. And I feel like the public library is so important in encouraging people to read and getting our young children involved in the programs that are presented there. And I would like to be a part of that.
Very good. Any questions from the commission?
Thank you for applying.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so we have two positions, one through 2018, one through 2021.
Okay. Well, if there was ever an opportunity to flip a coin, this would be it, but I know you guys don't like to see me flipping coins.
Is there either one of you that
So-
want the longer term? Doesn't matter.
I'd like to nominate Rittenhouse for the new term.
For
The new term.
For the longer
full
term.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
And Murphy for the other one.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Commissioner Martin and seconded by Mayor Bauer to appoint Deborah Murphy to an unexpired term serving to April 30th, 2018, and Karen Rittenhouse to a new four-year term serving to April 30th, 2021. Commissioner Castler.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor.
Aye.
Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Thank you both very much. Resolution R, number R-17-23, a resolution to purchase insurance for the city of Coffeyville. Finance Director Stephanie Richardson will make comments.
Mayor and Commissioners, it's the time of year where we look at renewing our property and casualty insurance, or property and liability insurance. It is effective May 1st, 2017 to May 1st of 2018. This policy does not cover the electric facilities, does not cover the airport liability or the workers' compensation coverage. We have separate flood coverage for particular locations, and it does not cover any cyber liability coverage. That's not something that we've had in the past. The renewal premium that we got back this year, we were on a 3-year rate guarantee from One Beacon, if you'll remember from last year's renewal. And this year's quote is $257,267. That is a $9,377 decrease from last year. It is within our current budget limits, as we budgeted a 10% increase for any increase in values that we would have on our policy. Any changes in the policy are related to any vehicle or equipment additions or deletions that we had, any changes in property values. Flood zone coverage, we did have some items change with that as FEMA is looking to change their flood maps. It kind of shifts some of our facilities in or out of the flood zones. So we are looking through those that came off of the blanket coverage in order to see whether we need to have separate flood coverage on those. If you approve the resolution tonight, this will be our 13th consecutive year using Arthur Gallagher for our insurance coverage, and One Beacon as our insurance company. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer those.
So how many buildings did come off? Do you know?
How many
How
came
many?
off of the flood? I
Right.
can tell you the locations here. Let's see, the items that were removed from the blanket coverage was 5 locations at the airport, and there is a location in the industrial park. It's a lift station location there, and then a South Walnut shale pit lift station, which I believe most of those have been converted to submergible pumps, and the controls have been raised, so there's not really much
So
risk
Stephanie,
there.
I know insurance is kind of a big item. And who all with the city, just, and for the public to know too, who all with the city, you know, sits down and looks at all this besides you, looks at this insurance package? I mean, I've been involved in those through the years. I know it's kind of a big deal. You sit down. Who all, how does that work?
We kind of start our process. Toby Hunt goes through our property list and updates that for us. She keeps that updated throughout the year. She also updates our vehicle and equipment lists as things are purchased or things are have gotten rid of. Once she's done, it comes to me for my approval. I also send it to Jim Bradshaw for him to take a look over. We've sat down and went through that with Kendall and just made sure that everyone's kind of taken a look to make sure that we've got everything covered on the list.
Any other questions? I'll make a motion to approve Resolution R-17-23.
Second.
Motion was made by Mayor Bauer and seconded by Commissioner Castler to approve resolution number R-17-23 for adoption. Commissioner Taylor.
Aye.
Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Castler.
Aye.
Tell everybody on the team, thank you. We need to do that once in a while, but
Thank you.
I know that's a process.
I
Thank
will
you,
do so.
Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution number R-17-24, a resolution to approve an infill housing development grant for Flat Rock Concepts LLC. Assistant City Manager Tricia Purdon will make comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The Infill Development Grant Program was established in 2014 as part of the Economic Development Incentive Guidelines Program. This fund comes from the Economic Development Sales Tax, which is 10% of half a cent. We budget about $15,000 a year to market housing programs and some loan administration and neighborhood cleanup projects. This program is designed to encourage private reinvestment and preservation of vital neighborhoods and add additional housing stock in Coffeyville in existing neighborhoods. This program was intended to cover the utility infrastructure to provide new electricity, plumbing, water, sewer, whatever needed to be done to run from the old line to the new development. Program funds may be used for individuals or investors to create homes for sale or for rental purposes, or if someone wants to build a custom home in an existing neighborhood, that's also eligible use of the funds. It is a grant program to encourage this private investment in using new housing in Coffeyville. The grant does cover the initial infrastructure costs. With this specific project, it is a tiny home pocket neighborhood on Buckeye Street. This would cover the building permit fees, the tap fees, and new utility infrastructure costs that would normally be charged to the city as a home builder. With this project, those costs really added up because it would be a new line for 6 homes all on one single lot where there used to be one single home. That made it 6 times the cost for all of those fees, which is why they approached us for this project. Typically, this company, they're looking to build several of these properties that can be used for infill development throughout the community on lots that are too small for current building standards regarding setbacks and square footage requirements. So we are setting this up as an incentive to encourage this company to continue to build and sell these homes in Coffeyville. After speaking with staff, we found that the expected cost for running new infrastructure for these 6 homes will be approximately $2,000 per home. So we are structuring the program to provide $1,000 per expected home up front, and then an additional $1,000 provided in 2018 under the 2018 budget once the homes are completed, in order to provide an incentive to complete the homes within a certain timeline. So like I kind of talked about before, it's $1,000 up front, $1,000 at the end once the homes are completed. So similar to what Commissioner Taylor had recommended on other programs, half up front, then half at the end once the project's completed. I just wanted to also reiterate that it comes from the Economic Development Sales Tax. This is not coming from the incentive fund that we have set aside. It's our budget that we put up every year and work on each year. The only thing that's a little different about this project is that although it does meet all of the goals of the Infill Housing Development Grant Program, they are not currently in the targeted neighborhoods identified in that document. However, their homes would fit into the homes in the infill neighborhoods, and this is a very good starting point. They already own the lot to help them kind of get this project going and create kind of their marketing surge that they need to sell the homes to put them into the infill neighborhoods. So we feel like it's still a very good use of the funds that would likely provide some new homes in those neighborhoods with very small footprint sizes. I mean, if you look at some of our original Coffeyville neighborhoods, those lots are just extremely narrow, and a standard home you'd build just won't fit on those lots. So a tiny home really could help fill in some of those neighborhoods and meet a need that our employers are saying we need. We keep hearing from our businesses that a lack of housing is a #1 issue for why their employees do not live in Coffeyville. Market rate rentals are something that is in high demand in our community, and this definitely meets that demand. I mean, for example, you can go down to Southern Hills, and currently they've been leasing to doctors that work at CRMC and teachers that work at our schools. So they've definitely been used, and they're very well-kept homes. I think they'd be more than happy to have you come out and tour the 2 that they already have down in the Southern Hills neighborhood. They're very, very nice homes. They're nicer than my home. It didn't feel like a tiny home at all. So I would open it up to any questions. Lonnie and Kim Betts are here to answer any additional questions you might have that I can't answer. They're out in the audience if you'd like them to come up and kind of speak to the project, but otherwise I am here for answering any questions you might have.
Questions?
No?
No questions.
And, no, I'd make a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll second. I'm sorry.
Motion was made by Commissioner Taylor and seconded by Commissioner Castler to approve resolution number R-17-24 for adoption. Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor.
Aye.
Mayor Bauer.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Castler.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. City managers report.
Mayor and Commissioners, following our last meeting, we put out RFPs for realtors for the Community Health Center, the 604 Union site behind us, and we received those, and staff and I are reviewing those and rating those, so we'll be making a selection for a realtor within the next couple of days, and there will be an option to lease the facility and or sell the facility. So we'll be putting that out. Finally, the branding is coming to fruition. All the work is done. We are tentatively, and I say that right now, scheduled for Monday, May 1st. We're checking availability of the building. We'd like to have it right here. If this building is available, and we can utilize our ability to televise the meeting as well. So once we confirm that this building is available that night, then we'll be marketing that to everyone. I'd like to say thank you to Jared Schicky. He's the men's and women's soccer coach at the college. Say thank you to him and his soccer teams for the work that they did. He personally for helping to design the disc golf course and the soccer golf or foot golf course that's at Walter Johnson Park, and then his men and women's teams installed those this weekend, so they are up and able to be utilized, and it's my understanding that it has been utilized already quite a bit. So
That wasn't a ATV course?
pardon me?
That wasn't an ATV course?
Well, it could be, I suppose.
Oh,
You
somebody should have told me.
you could go in around
Oh, okay. I thought that was motorcycle.
going around the flags probably.
Yeah, it looked nice. I mean, really visible from the highway, too.
It is.
I love that.
Yep, so. Just a little bit of a heads up that KBI will be in town training with our police department on April 25th and 26th. I know one day, the first day, I believe they'll be spent at the range, but on the 26th, I believe they will be doing some SWAT training, so you will see some of these officers and SWAT gear throughout town, and when they're in the neighborhoods, those neighbors will be notified, but probably look a little out of place as you see them going place to place, so just a little bit of a forewarning there. Also, I'd like to let everybody know that we're making preparations to do the work at the 8th and Washita intersection. We're going to wait until after prom, so it is scheduled to be closed on Monday, April 24th, to start that project, and believe it's a 20-day turnaround, 20 calendar day turnaround, so we're under the clock to get that done and open back up. So, but it will be completely closed for that about 3 weeks length of time. We'll be making that more well-known. We'll be advertising on that, so we know that 8th Street is very well traveled.
Yep.
As far as some other closures, Sunflower Road, north into the county will be closed April 24th through the 28th. There at the bridge, I believe the county will be doing some repairs and resurfacing on Sunflower. We still have some job openings. We're taking applications for a lot of summer workers, seasonal help, concession stand workers, lifeguards. So you can check out the city website on how to apply for those. Park cleanup, we have another one scheduled. The Parks Board has scheduled the next one to be Sunday, May 21st, and it'll be 2 to 4 p.m. At this time, we're undecided as to which park we will which park we'll focus on, but we'll be getting that word out. But it's Sunday, May 21st right now. So also just a reminder that a week from today we have pre-budget work session, and it'll be 6 p.m. at city offices in the conference room.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Pre-budget.
Oh, pre-budget.
Pre-budget work session with commissioners and department heads.
What was the date again?
Next Tuesday, the 18th.
So I heard you talking about it.
Yep.
Just
6 o'clock. We will serve food, so.
Come hungry?
Well, at least come.
Don't forget you're serving food like we do half the time. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
thank you.
job. Beyond that, I think that's all I really have. I'd answer questions.
Any questions?
What, now, what's going on with the elections and the stuff's going on with new commissioners? I understand is coming up.
Yes.
What's going on with that? Because I really don't know. I've heard some things, been asked by some public people, citizens. Can you tell?
We have.
And maybe we can do it later if it's more appropriate. I don't care.
I can tell you, we have 3 positions that will be up for renewal. Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Kassler, and Commissioner Bauer. You can register if you would like to run. You can register at the county before June 1st, at noon on June 1st, and there's a $70 filing fee. It's $20. It's actually $20 for the filing fee, and $50 goes to the Ethics Commission.
And you have to be registered by June 1st.
Registered by June 1st. And then the elections are in the fall. If we need a
Preliminary.
primary, that will be in August. Otherwise it'll be, they now fall in the fall with the elections on the odd years.
So if it's over how many, do they have to have a primary? What's the deal on that? If there's so many,
Yes.
then they do a primary. What is that number, I wonder?
10.
Is it 10?
Oh, if there's over 10?
10 or more.
10 or more,
Be one
okay.
more than 3 times the number.
Okay. Okay, one more than 3 times. It's interesting. Now, how does the city?
August 1st is the primary, and November, sometime in November.
The
Okay.
first Tuesday,
Cindy-
after the first Monday.
And Cindy or Ken or whoever, how do we let the public know through the newspaper or Facebook? How do we?
We have been.
We have put that out.
Okay.
I have seen something in the local newspaper a little bit.
Okay.
And I think we will probably step
do
that up a
more.
little
We'll do
bit as it
more.
gets a little closer to the time.
Okay, good. I just wanted the public to know, as well as myself.
Right.
Time to start marketing the deal.
They can't get rid of us, Jim.
Huh?
They can't get rid of us for a while.
That's something we agree on, Justin.
Mark it down, Cindy. Could you put that April 11th?
Okay.
This time we'll take comments from the public. The public is free to comment on items not listed on the agenda. Please address comments to the commission as a body and be mindful of others who may also wish to speak by limiting your comments to 3 minutes.
1108 West 9th Street, but I'm actually talking about the library. I wouldn't normally make such an announcement, but we do have a substantial closing of the library coming up for an upgrade. So the week of April 24th, so the entire week, April 24th to the 29th, the library will be closed to the public. We are upgrading our system, and we have to tag 50,000 items that week. So we have to close. I'm hoping we can finish a little bit sooner than that and not have to close the entire week, but we won't know that until we get in the thick of things. So just wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be closed.
So because I know how the internet works, this is a temporary closing, and the library is not closing permanently.
Correct. Temporary closing.
Yes,
Thank you. Yes.
Katie, are you still looking for volunteers to help with that?
Yes, I am. My only request for anyone who is interested in volunteering is they have to be comfortable with the library classification system, meaning call numbers and such, as well as technology, because it is a technology upgrade. So if anybody is interested in volunteering, please call the library 251-1370. We can kind of talk about what the actual tasks that would be assigned to those volunteers, what that would entail. Okay, thank you.
Good, thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to comments from commissioners and staff. We'll open it up to comments.
Well, I'll say something, I'll start. I think it ought to be talked about a little bit. I've sat in on a couple lunch discussions with citizens, and I just wanted to hear from probably Kendall. I haven't forewarned you on this one or anything, but I guess the contractor, Crossland, is building our police and fire department. There's been quite a bit of talk about local contractors not getting any work. I don't know how true it is or not. I understand from hearsay, and I know I could dig into this, but I just wanted to hear from you on it, that a contract or two, it might have been some of the utilities was within a certain percentage. I'm sure you know about this if it's true. And didn't know if you could comment a little bit on that.
I'd be happy to comment. There were, I don't know that there were many local contractors who bid on the different contracts. Off the top of my head, I know two that I would say were based in Coffeyville. One was not close to that amount, and the other one, if we were doing it, if it was working through the city, if the city was handling the contracts, they probably would have qualified on the local preference, because we do give a little bit of a break or a percentage. However, the contracts were handled through Crossland, and so that local buyer's preference does not apply. But that was the only contract I know that was even remotely close for a local contractor.
So do you know if any local contractors are getting anything?
I think we have, local to Montgomery County, but not to Coffeyville.
Okay. Well, there has been a little bit of talk about it, and I don't know if we could have managed it different.
Again, it was a sealed bid on all those on all the construction packages. And again, only two of them stick in my head as being actual what I would call Coffeyville contractors.
Well, that's a tough one, okay?
Right.
It's a tough one. I understand that, and I just thought the public ought to know something about it, because there's word around town.
Sure.
And I thought it ought to be discussed somewhat.
And we do have the bids coming open for City Hall. We expect probably more of an influx of local bidders on that project. It's probably a little bit more in their wheelhouse of the work that they do.
Will this percentage, would this advantage work with that, or how is that?
Yes, that is going to be handled through the city, so that local preference does apply.
Do those contractors know that are bidding on it? Were they notified So they would have that knowledge before they make the investment of bidding the deal.
I don't know that we've made any kind of announcement. I mean, I suppose we can let them know, and we can put that with our, we could put that on our, with our bid
Well,
documents.
okay, I think we need to talk about it. I think I've heard the number 5% in the past, and I'm not sure if that's exactly right, Kendall,
That is.
but that's a lot, and it might be too much, okay?
Well,
I mean, because that's the profit margin on a construction project is 2-3% sometimes. So
well,
5%,
and I
they're
can
not
tell you
going
that's a discussion we've already had with
Okay,
staff
okay.
in recent meetings too.
Okay.
And we will be bringing something to the commission that addresses that.
Good, thank you. That's all I've got.
Any other questions? No other questions? I was asked to call a 5-minute executive session. I'll make a motion.
Is this the one I talked about?
Yes.
Probably gonna need a little more than 5
Well, I
minutes.
thought you said 5. Sorry, how long you want?
I was thinking like maybe 10, 15.
Okay, 15-minute.
Go 20, would you?
Let's do 20.
We will start at
We're done?
7:15 in executive session and end at 7:35.
And that would be for the purpose of
Non-elected personnel.
elected personnel. And you
I will
made
make
the
a motion.
Second, yeah, it's just the 5 of them.
Motion was made by Mayor Bauer and seconded by Commissioner Martin to recess to executive session for the discussion of non-elected personnel to reconvene on or before 7:35. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're done here, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.